Hello and welcome to another disused railway saga. This is Em.
And this is Stu. And today we've brought you to Suffolk, where we'll be having a look at the branch line that went from Saxmundham down to Aldeburgh. Only 8.5 miles or so this line, but we're actually starting the video here in Aldeburgh, which was actually the second part of the line to be built in 1860, with the first bit to Leiston, just up the road, being built in 1859. Not an awful lot to see here, unfortunately, in Aldeburgh. It's now a housing estate. There's a few little relics which I'm sure we're now showing you, but that's about it really.
And this wasn't a beaching cut, was it?
No, it would have been before that, being in fact I think it was 1966, but it's very complicated, this line, why it closed. We'll get into that later on down the line.
Okay, Em.
But we are still on the track bed right now, and we're going to follow this up to the next place that we're going to show you.
Okay, come with us.
The terminus station here at Aldeburgh was actually built some distance away from the centre of the town and its shingled beach, and despite their expectations, it never really did develop as a major resort they'd hoped for, and for most of the beginning of the 20th century it was largely used to transport fish. Today a roundabout sits pretty much on top of the station area, with only a few clues that a station ever existed there.
So we've just been walking about a mile or two, I think now, from Aldeburgh. Luckily there's a permissive footpath that runs all the way from the town down there, and the next place we're heading is Thorpeness, which was a small halt that they built in 1914, was it?
1914.
Yeah, just to boost the traffic really, apparently, but there was nothing near but a country club with like a golf course and I think a garden centre or something, and it didn't really help much at all to boost the traffic. But apparently it is here somewhere in the undergrowth, so we're going to see if we can find it, and if there's anything on the way we'll take a look at that too.
Okay.
The outbreak of World War II was yet another nail in the coffin for the line. With beaches all along the east coast being barbed wired off, holiday visitors no longer came, and from 1940 armoured trains carrying 6-pounder guns could be seen touring the line.
Right, okay, so we've stumbled across quite a sizable plate layer's hut, and I think we're going to go and have a quick look in there, aren't we?
Yeah, we've never actually been in a plate layer's hut or a permanent way hut, depending on...
Well, we have when we was at owning.
Yeah, nothing substantial like this.
This is older.
But we didn't know this was here, so we're going to take you for a little look.
Okay. Right, okay, so we're going to be having a look in this rather sized plate layer's hut. There is plenty of nats around here, but I would like to point out there is original fences running along here, which is quite interesting. And we're going to go in here. Oh, yeah, that's okay. Now this is impressive, actually. This is actually really cool.
Yeah, we've never seen one with like 2 rooms
Not this,
and windows and everything intact.
Not this big anyway, but it's a bit unsturdy on some of the flooring.
Yeah. Of course, they apparently plate layers huts were like every mile down the track.
Yeah, just a bloke would sit in here and wait for a bit of damaged track, wouldn't it?
Something like that, or when they were being built and all the rest of it, there was somewhere for them to come. I'll be honest with you, I don't know a lot of history about them.
No, I don't. There's a lot of graffiti.
So it's not old, you know, this clearly isn't the age of the railway when it's built.
No, but without sounding a thingy, and it sounds like I'm a right pussy, I'm getting out of here because I'm getting bitten. So, sorry about that, lads and boys and girls, but look at all them rush out. Goodbye. Right, okay, so we actually got out of there because
we hastily escaped.
We learnt our lesson from last time, because last time we went to a place just like that, we got bitten to absolute hell, and
I don't fancy scratching for the next 2 weeks.
Nah,
like I did
so
last time.
we literally bolted.
It was still quite impressive. There wasn't an awful lot to see, but we came across it.
And
we're going to carry on down the track to find where the actual halt station of Thorpeness was.
Okay, so we'll see you there.
So we found the platform of Thorpeness Halt. Now this is probably 2.5–3 miles maybe from Aldeburgh, and like I said, they added this in 1914 because they wanted to increase the traffic, I believe. But Thorpeness, even like today, really doesn't have an awful lot here, and it never did take off, other than the golf course that we've got behind us and a garden centre that we can't actually see anymore. There's not much else here, so it wasn't obviously a success. But we are left with quite an impressive platform, and considering the age of this and the fact that it's not been looked after at all, it's actually in really good condition. It goes on much further that way than I can even see. We've uncovered it a little bit, but I'm not going to carry on doing any more. But yeah, we're really glad that we found it anyway. So that was Thorpeness halt for you. Really impressed that we found it. Proper abandoned platform. There was actually some old carriages, wasn't there, that they used to use as sort of shelters and things.
Shelters, yeah.
There's no sign of it. I did have a little rummage around in the undergrowth. I can't really see anything else other than that single platform. But like I said, it was quite long, so it was quite impressive.
Yeah.
But we're going to head up off the track now to, I think, the next station, which was Leiston.
Okay.
Before we get bitten to death by all these
Yeah,
names.
there's a lot of bites going on. All right, then we'll
So
see
stay
when
with
we
us
get up
and
there.
we'll meet you up there.
Right.
The line would have likely been closed by 1960 if it hadn't been for the construction of a nuclear power station nearby at Sizewell, when it was used to help transport its construction materials. However, the power station was complete by 1966 and the line finally listed for closure. However, the section of branch line from Saxmundham to a loading bay near Leiston was kept open, but only for the removal of spent uranium fuel rods, which, although only very occasionally used, still continues to this day.
Right, so, and here it is, the loading area for all that spent uranium.
Yep.
On its way at Sellafield. As you can see, the big crane here that they load it onto, and just behind that is some warehouses, which maybe that's where they store it.
We was going to put the drone over, but it's been raining, and also I don't think it's a great idea.
We just got caught in one almighty rainstorm.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
But we're about a mile away from the station of Leiston, which we're actually going to carry on to, and we will meet you there to take a look at the station building. So we've just come a couple of miles down the road from the Sizewell loading dock thing, and here it is, Leiston station itself, and they still have the actual original building. And they made some adaptations. You can see where there was a door. It's now been converted into 2 or 3 cottages, we think, isn't it? But around the back, it's still got the original platform. It's still got some quite cool original crossing gates. And we don't think this is actually used once a week, like we read. It looks like it's used a lot less.
It's a lot less, but the amazing thing is behind here is the
yeah, that's
the
what
platform.
I said, the actual platform itself. It's a really cool place to live, we were just saying, weren't we?
Yeah.
But here, the line continues up to Saxmundham, which is still a station that's being used. It goes up towards Beccles. We'll put a little picture in.
Yeah.
But that is the end of this branch line down to Aldeburgh.
And we've had a pretty good time.
Yeah, a bit of a strange one, sort of semi-disused.
Yeah.
Not something that we come across very often. But
No.
we hope you've enjoyed our little shots and our look around. Not an awful lot of history.
No, there isn't, but it was enough, and we've really enjoyed it. So we hope to see you again next week with another video. It might not be a railway. It could be abandoned. It could be anything.
We don't know.
But we'll see you next week.
Yep.
So from Exploring Em and Stu.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.